the opening round of the 2025 FCS playoffs. The new says will kick in the NFL. He's got that kind of leg.
Protect, but easier to run, so not really a tremendous advantage on either side.
Julius Loffridge, the transfer from Fordham University, and 7. Looking to throw again. Mason fires a strike, has a man. It's a first down. Alex Bullock, his primary.
The defensive backs having to adjust in snow.
That was Bullock's 64th catch of the season. And there's Graham Goring on the run it up the middle with guidance. Loffridge able to break free, still on his feet.
Tackles, you're going to see a lot of that too.
And I love that the tight end number 82 Coleman Kuntz helped to guide him through that hole, turned him in the right direction.
Everybody's vibes improved when he came back on the practice field.
Screen pass caught. Gonna be a big play down the sideline, out of bounds. Bullock, Smith, and Goring, the receivers, to the top of your screen. Going to keep it on the ground. Loffridge takes a shot, dragging. Mason, Loffridge. This time he is in. Ball game.
And once again, you're getting Julius Loffridge downhill. I mean, that is what you want to do, is run straight downhill. When the guy that you have carrying the ball has the physicality of Julius Loffridge, you go right.
Have lost 4 of its last 5, but that coincided with the foot injury suffered by their quarterback Chase Mason, who is back and steers this team right down the interception of the year.
Yeah, and this is another casualty of the snow. Watch Chase Wilson coming across the middle. He does slip. He almost kind of.
It's hauled in once again by the tight end Peyton Strickland, who has caught 23 passes this year. In coverage was the defensive captain. And so that'll bring up 3rd down and about 4.
Yeah, if you're a defensive player, and really nice coverage there, but if you're a defensive player, it's not like you were going to.
12-yard line. And so the Jackrabbits defense gets the football back with 8:48 remaining in the first quarter.
In the world to quit on your season, but that was a playoff game that they absolutely executed, and the guts for Jack Henry to make that play, and the significant.
To close the regular season had more to do with who was not at quarterback than who was there today. Chase Mason ready to lead this team to another run.
The ball when you got an offense like this.
Grayton Gannon goes in motion now to the left side of the formation. 3rd down, going to run for it.
To play in games like this and win.
Young man out of Maid Creek High School in Houston takes a break on the sideline, replaced by Josiah.
240 and a whole lot of muscle. It's his 5th game back, and they're very excited to have him back for plays like that.
No, sir, to every coach all the time. What makes him so special?
Well, he just runs hard, and in this offense, you're going to get movement with the offensive. Yeah, and that massive humanity, it's hard to see where the ball actually stops and where the ball carrier is actually down. But this is the style game, and I think the
first down for the Jackrabbits.
Yeah, good job by Bullock to come hit at the legs of these running backs. When you're trying to react, you don't have a lot of time, so you want to be the
zone. South Dakota State now with a 13-0 lead, and why not a snow angel on a day like today?
Really pushing it hard, because you're not going to be able to create explosives. You accidentally happen into explosives on offense in the snow.
Get out of the wind when you can and have a quick impromptu meeting inside of whatever that is. As he left, wound up getting his degree not playing football at Nebraska Omaha back in 2008. And he wasn't sure he was going to be a football coach. He thought, well, out here at Dykehouse Stadium. And like you said, you can tell that it means more. He has true passion for this program.
Whether score with the points or at least giving their defense time to make adjustments.
That's the end of the first quarter, with the Jackrabbits 6 yards and a couple of rushing touchdowns so far here this afternoon. In his 4th year as head coach at his alma mater, and he is just the 3rd Wildcats head coach since 19. Going on the first play of the second quarter. It's a near interception. In coverage he was trying to follow the tight end Grayton Gannon, but the New Hampshire defense was ready.
Yeah, DJ Johnson from the backside of that play did a really nice job.
Hands it off on 1st down, trying to pick his way into the secondary. Nice job of running the football. It is a 8 or 9 yard pick. They are hoping to see this offense get something going, but it'll start with trying to convert 3rd down and short. Timeout on the field.
Welcome back to Brookings, South Dakota, and I have to correct something I had said before the break. I thought New Hampshire had converted one. And you also might be wondering, why on a 3rd and this are you doing that type of play? Well, last week they were 1 for 11 on scoring touchdowns inside the 4-yard.
A huge risk and a huge reward for the Wildcats.
That's a terrific call. Really getting downhill.
And again, good yardage off the legs of the sophomore from Bellwood, Illinois on first down. Kobe Claiborne this year. He averages better than 5 yards per carry on the season, and he has been very productive on this drive.
Yeah, he's usually the change and comes in and becomes kind of the sledgehammer. Well, right now a sledgehammer is really the only tool you need, and they've run big.
On their first sustained drive of the afternoon, New Hampshire goes back to the air on first down. Veza,
which is the strength of this South Dakota State defense, to keep them less aggressive in the running game. That's a big miss there by Fillion. Penetration up the middle forces the running back to bubble backwards, and if you have to bubble backwards in the snow, all of your momentum, your capacity to cut, and all the timing of the blitz. Wide receivers and quarterbacks know where they're going, but watch the offensive linemen who are trying to put their feet in the ground. You see number 55, Tolu Olaj.
Good starting field position for Chase Mason and the offense. Well, there's no tea-fetching dog named.
How happy she is every time she gets to go get the tea.
Fantastic. Gem the Dungeon Dog.
Good girl. How good Chase Mason is. Veza's an all-conference quarterback, and they're 2 for 7. He's 12 for 14, and every single ball is on the money, and the incompletions are either throwaways, he's able to get a tackle, or push him out of bounds, but that ball is right on the front side of his shoulder, allowing him to keep his momentum going all the way into that
career where he threw the baseball 94 miles an hour. He hit 400-foot home runs. MLB draft expert Jim Callis projected that if he had been drafted,
players, just the vibes get better. And vibes is sort of like a silly word sometimes, but the energy that exists between players is that, I've down. They've got 2 timeouts there, if you can't tell, just behind the 50-yard line. So they've got plenty of time. They don't have to be in a crazy hurry to get down the field.
Playoffs, New Hampshire trying to put some points back on the board before the break. Veza gets hit, keeps the football. Third down, less than 2.
But able to get this to 6, and then you get the ball, and then a touchdown, and all of a sudden it becomes a game again. But getting that takeaway and keeping those points off the board is really big to end the half. South Dakota weather.
Well, in the pregame, we saw several players on both sides going shirtless. Jeff, you going to go shirtless in the second half?
I will not.
I'm not going shirtless in the second.
Let's go. He played here. He was an assistant coach here for 8 seasons. But he also coached in the SEC as an assistant at Vanderbilt. And he was the defense.
Dan Jackson's hired. Okay, that's great. He's got to put together a staff.
But you just get to work. I literally took that sheet of paper and I just started calling them one by one. Phone calls till mid.
Bring your hips, wide moving.
Hiring the staff was critical for me to have the right amount of jackrabbits that knew and loved South Dakota State.
You talk about having 3 core.
Once again knocks off Montana State.
Our guys have been through so much that, any sort of adversity that hits in the game isn't going to faze them. We just going to
thrown their way.
Play for each other. Let's go.
This team will be talked about for the rest of South Dakota State history.
It's a party, it's a party, it's a party.
After this.
Really good location of a pass, and then really, really nice job there by Smith to get it into the end zone. I mean, this has been everything you want it to be for South Dakota.
Look at the 2 quarterbacks. Veza has the 1 interception on a deflected pass. I've been impressed just by how well the Jackrabbits have taken care of the football. No INTs, no passes.
And Coleman Kuntz is going to get the touchdown, but you know what? I wish that you could get assist touchdowns. They get hockey assists, heck of an assist.
Well, Jeff, you would understand it. Bullock was a walk-on at Nebraska who carved out a niche. Didn't know he was going to play again this year. But he continues to do all the little things to help New Hampshire early in the 4th quarter. The winner of this game will advance to face 3rd-seeded Montana in Missoula next Saturday here on ESPN.
4 scores. It's 4 8-point drives. So you got to start now because you won't have much time, and you're going to have to play excellent football to bait the linebackers into playing up into the run, then throw right behind them. UNH is awesome at that. Veza is really good. It's hard to do. McShane, a future, not likely, but a chance to be a future NFL player. If he's out, your opportunities here and necessarily be the primary option. I just imagine that Miles Thomason is not able to go because we have not seen him since the middle of the first quarter, which is 4 yards off the sideline. That's your ground as a wide receiver. If you lose that 4-yard highway, you get pushed to the sideline. The best the quarterback can do is make.
Decided in Nashville, presumably a little warmer, less snowy than we have here today in Brookings, South Dakota. And you see the Jacks are staring at a second-round build upon what he has learned from those who came before him, most notably John Stiglmeyer.
And he still talks to Coach Stig, and that they live 5 houses away.
Everybody around the country knows the FCS Football Championship goes through the Dakotas. All 4 Dakota FCS teams made the field this year.
1 overall seat.
Johnson, the ball carrier on 3rd down. And this South Dakota State team, after the win last week at North Dakota, climbed backward.
So the ball is going to go back to where it was fumbled, but that was still a first down. So first down, Jackrabbits just back 4 or 5 yards.
But who've been getting it done here today.
Yeah, Mike Bankston, he was my roommate for 2 years back in Ames. He was his knees were too bad for him to actually fit style.
On a day like today, who cares about style? That goes out the window. I want to stay warm.
Andrew Gustad with South Dakota State-Montana game, regardless of who comes out of that side.
First down run for the true freshman from Litchfield, New Hampshire, Scott Hirschberger. He's been one of the big playmakers for the Jackrabbits this year. His 3 interceptions tied for most on the team with Jalen Lee. Lott waiting to make the tackle. And he didn't miss his opportunity. Blake Leiferman, a redshirt freshman from Kimball, for the Jackrabbits fans. And that indeed will do it. Well, forget about the fact that South Dakota, and it looks like the South Dakota Coyotes are going to take care of the Drake Bulldogs as well in advance to face Mercer next Saturday. And again, all of the